in this video, you're going to learn two very simple, yet very important updates as they relate to Etsy ads. So first, as I've said before, as you start generating more sales on a particular product listing with Etsy, and as you can have more history, your Etsy ads should improve because Etsy basically understands your product better. They can see exactly what keywords customers are using to type to then purchase your product and all of that. However, with some more recent changes, if you follow up to this point in the course, you know exactly how to optimize your title, your tags, your description, and each element of your Etsy listing as best as you possibly can. And if you do have a well-optimized Etsy listing, what I found more recently is that Etsy is better able to serve your ads even if it's a brand new listing. And what you'll actually find, this kind of ties into point number 2, is that Etsy will actually look at the keywords that are in your title and your tags especially. Those are the most important points. They'll also look at your description as well, but really mostly your title and tags. So if you optimize them well for keywords, you can actually, you have a new product that's launching, you want to start getting reviews for this product, you want to start increasing in rank on Etsy. Before, like I said, I recommended maybe waiting a little bit for Etsy ads, and you'll still may get better results with time, but I find it very advantageous, especially with well-optimized listings that have decent profit margins of at least 30% or more. If you're selling digital products that are like $10 or $20, like we do with some of our products, or you have physical products that are at least 30% margin, those are really good contenders. And if you really want to drive sales and get reviews as soon as you launch, then I would definitely recommend testing out Etsy ads even in the beginning for that kind of first 30 days and on with your product. Just keep in mind that when you're starting off and you have 0 reviews for a specific product, even if you have shop reviews, your Etsy ads won't convert as well as when you have 10 reviews, 20 reviews or so, hopefully 5-star for that product. So keep that in mind that just leaving the Etsy ads run as you get better reviews and more reviews will also just improve naturally. But you can use Etsy ads as a tool to launch and rank new products other than just Google or Pinterest ads. And I would recommend, if you want to drive traffic, to do that right in the beginning. And I've also found that running Etsy ads will absolutely increase your organic ranking on Etsy as well. There's definitely a correlation. So that's kind of the first big update. The second update, getting a little bit more tactical, and I'm going to show you how to do this. This is really cool. No one else is talking about this yet. What you want to do is once per week, if you're running Etsy ads, go to your Etsy seller dashboard, click on marketing, then click on Etsy ads, like you see here. Once you're here, go ahead and click on Manage Advertised Listings. So click on that, and it's going to show you all the listings that you are advertising. Once we're here, where you're going to organize, usually what I'll do by budget spent, and then for filters, go ahead and click on Filters, and make sure that the last 30 days is selected. Ideally, you want at least 7 days, so you can kind of drag down here and see the different options. But what I usually like is the last 30 days. It doesn't really matter. The key is, for this specific criteria, at least the last 7. This is kind of easiest just to click through, so last 30 is perfect. Hit Done. And then what we're going to do is as you see here, for each advertised listing, there's this little search term section here, okay? And what we're going to do is right-click and then open each of these in a new tab, okay, which I'll go ahead and do. And I'll show you one specific example. So I'll show you kind of what to do. So we'll start with this right here. This is a budget Google Sheet spreadsheet that helps track income, expenses, and all that. And I'm telling you this for a reason. So we're going to go ahead and open up the search terms in a new tab. And as we see here, we can actually see over here on the left-hand side, these are all search terms that Etsy shoppers actually typed into Etsy to see our product, and that actually keywords that Etsy showed our product for, our sponsored listing. So what I like to do is just leave it at default, sort by ad views, and then high to low. Basically, highest ad views to low. And you need to have run Etsy ads for at least 7 days. That's why I recommend setting the timer to 7. If it's 30 days or 60 days or a year, it's totally fine. It's going to be pretty much the same data, okay? So what we have here is basically the search terms that buyers search for, and then our ad is shown. Some of them maybe clicked, some of them not. And what used to be the case is Etsy would show you this data, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just basically, hey, seller, here's what we showed for, and then it's also why. So as you can see here, the buyer searched for budget spreadsheet Google Sheet. Why did Etsy show our ad for this? Because of our title. What about this keyword, monthly budget spreadsheet for Google? Etsy showed because of our title. And the majority of the time, it's title and tags. It depends on the kind of the product, timing. It can be a lot of tags as well, but so it definitely kind of depends. But as you can see here, it's mostly just the title, okay? And then with this, what you want to do in the action item is go through here and look at each search term. And it'll get faster as you go. The first week will be the longest, but every week after that, it'll get a little bit faster. So what you're going to do is look at each keyword or search term here on the left-hand side, and basically you want to think, is this relevant or not? Basically, if someone searches for this, are they really interested in my product, yes or no? Okay? And there's really 3 categories. It's either going to be highly relevant, kind of a gray area, like don't really know, maybe somewhat relevant, and then there's going to be irrelevant. Anything that is irrelevant, turn that off, and I'll show you how to do that. For example, we have budget spreadsheet Google Sheet. So this is a budget Google Sheet spreadsheet. So this is just a different arrangement of words, but this is very relevant. This is what our product is. So we want to leave this on, leave this running, okay? Monthly budget spreadsheet for Google, very similar, and that's exactly what we're selling, so leaving that. Here's what we have, 5-year planner. So think about it, if someone's typing in 5-year planner into Etsy, what kind of product are they interested in? They're interested in, it could be relating to finances, but my product is a financial product. So is this a financial, are they looking for financial products with planner? Not really, it could just be like, a calendar, they can plan out their life. It could involve finances, but maybe not. It's kind of vague. So do I want to spend money? Because the reality is, if I can either leave this keyword on, or, so I can show you here, turn it on, and I'm just going to turn it back off. So that's kind of how you turn on or off. And I'm going to turn this off, because with Etsy ads, you only pay when someone clicks. So you may think, oh, let me just leave this on, and only people who click are interested. You only want people who are clicking that are in buying mode. There could be someone who's searching for a 5-year planner, and they see my spreadsheet, and they're like, oh, that's kind of cool, let me check it out. So they click on my ad just to check it out. They're like, oh, this isn't really what I'm looking for, or oh, that's kind of a cool idea, but yeah, I'm not really interested in buying. Well, guess what? I have to spend money on those clicks. My conversion rate for my listing goes down, and basically I'm wasting money, okay? So the key point of this video, go through once per week, look at your search terms. If anything is irrelevant, turn it off, okay? And if you're not really sure, it's up to your, so there's 3 categories. There's relevant keywords like these. There's kind of in the middle, like maybe this one's kind of a gray area, or let's see this one. Here's another one, simple monthly budget edit. If someone's typing simple monthly budget edit, what kind of product are they looking for? I don't really know, but it's about monthly budgeting, and that's what my product does. It provides, so this one's kind of a gray area keyword, somewhere in the middle. And for me, what do? I turn it off. because I want to be very, very honed in, very focused. I only want Etsy to show my ads for extremely relevant keywords, because number one, my ads are going to become more profitable, and number two, it's actually going to increase my conversion rate on my listing, and there's actually some evidence that shows that the higher your conversion rate is with Etsy, the better your ranking can be on Etsy. Basically, the Etsy will show you more people because you convert well. So I just want to make sure that I'm super focused, super targeted, very, very profitable, and this is going to help me kind of do that. So, we have like budget spreadsheet, that's relevant, because I'm selling a budget spreadsheet, so that's perfect, I'm going to leave that on. Planner dashboard, planner. That's nothing to do with finance. It's just general planner dashboard. I have no idea what this is, so I'm going to turn it off. And you have to also think that there's going to be a percent of competitors or other people that are just clicking on your ads. Every time someone clicks, you're going to get charged. And don't just assume that only people who are interested are clicking on your ads. And don't assume that someone who's clicking on your ad knows everything about your product. It's a big reason why they're clicking, because they want to learn more. So anything, in my opinion, that is not really relevant, think about them typing this in Etsy, looking at your ad and clicking. Are they going to buy? Or there's a high likelihood of buying or not? If there's a high likelihood of purchase, leave it on, leave it running. If it's not, turn it off. And as you can see, right, we see that when we turn something off, Etsy says, thank you for sharing feedback. Now this is still beta, and this is brand new. That's why you probably won't hear many other people talking about it right now. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you won't get any ad views for that keyword, but it does help, and I found that Etsy will take this into account and start you're basically training Etsy, you're teaching Etsy like, hey, here's what's relevant, here's what's irrelevant, right? Like budget is way too broad of a keyword. Someone's typing in budget, what are they looking for? Is it a physical product? Is it a digital product? Spreadsheet or Google Sheets? Do they know how to use Excel? Like, we have no idea, it's way too broad. If someone types in Etsy, I don't know if they're going to buy my product, but if someone types in personal finance spreadsheet, there's a very high likelihood that's why I leave it on. So hopefully that makes sense. You kind of see down there just for some more examples. But as you do this every week, you should see your profitability, your return on your advertising spend increase week after week. So this is just another way. You used to just kind of like turn on a listing, test it. If it was profitable, leave it running. If it's not, then turn it off. Now you have one step further to where if you had products in the past that were doing okay with Etsy ads but not that great, consider turning them back on and then do it for 30 days. And what I recommend is once per week for 30 days, go through and every week turn off any keyword that is irrelevant. And just do that once per week for a full month. And at the end of the month, you should definitely see your advertising improve. If you went from kind of like not very good results to great results, awesome, then consider keeping it running. If you went from like not very good results and they're still not that great, then you try and you test it here again, but there could be other issues. And of course, before you run Etsy ads, make sure it is so important. Amazing images, amazing copywriting, really well keyword optimized. If your listing's like okay, you're gonna get terrible results with Etsy ads, period, in every advertising. If you're running a business, you have to invest in your business. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on product images alone for different products, right? Take the investment, take the time and the money to make sure that your listing is phenomenal. And if you do that, overnight you're going to see all of a sudden all your Etsy ads already are going to improve in results immediately. So that's the best way to improve your advertising is improve your listing. But aside from that, assuming that you have an amazing listing, you follow all the steps thus far, okay, great. Run the Etsy ads, do this once per week, and this will absolutely improve your profitability and your results. And of course, I actually expect Etsy to continue to kind of dial in further and further. Step one of Etsy is just kind of turn on an ad for your listing. It's either on or off. Now you turn on your ad, and now you can kind of tell Etsy, hey, these are relevant, these are irrelevant. In the future, what I believe and what to watch out for, and I really hope happens, is in the future, I believe Etsy's going to ask you, hey, what keywords do you want to target and how much are you willing to spend per keyword? And once that happens, I promise you, I already have a system in place that I'm going to be testing and getting results with and sharing with you. Super excited, and I hope that happens. But for now, this is the best that we have, the best way to kind of optimize your Etsy ads. But of course, with any changes, this is going to be the place that you're going to find the most up-to-date changes in regards to Etsy ads. So hope you found it valuable. Of course, if you have any questions, let me know in the Q&A section. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the next video. In this next section of the module, I'm going to show you how to create very inexpensive and simple Google search ads. So essentially, 46% of product purchases online begin on Google. That means that 46% of people who want to buy something online start their search on Google. So there's a huge percentage of people that are searching for your product on Google. And obviously, if you have a well-optimized Etsy listing, there are ways of kind of showing up organically in the search results. If you do a lot of blogging or even active on Pinterest and things like that, that can help. But if you don't do any of that, or even if you're doing all of that, this is an amazing addition to your strategy. Very, very simple, and most Etsy sellers don't even know about it. So you're in the top 1% of Etsy sellers by knowing the strategy. And essentially, what we can do is obviously every month people are searching for keywords that relate to our product. So for example, let's say that we sell a men's personalized leather bag on Etsy, okay? So if we sell that product, what we can do is we can target this keyword on Google, meaning every time someone goes to Google, to the search engine, and they type in men's personalized leather bag, or even maybe personalized men's leather bag or other variants, and I'll show you how to find keywords and target these keywords later. But they type in relevant keywords to your product. What you can do is then create an ad that looks something like this that shows up right at the top of search results, okay? Because look at this. So I'm looking for a men's personalized leather bag. I hit enter, and the first search result that comes up is actually not a search result, it's an ad. But most people can't tell the difference, especially when they're going quickly and kind of browsing, between an ad, which you can kind of see here, has ad literally kind of right next to it, versus a standard kind of search engine result here. So right, we have the, up here with the ad, we have a website, we have kind of the title, description. Same thing here, we have the website, we have the title, we have the description. Very, very similar, almost identical, and most people can't tell the difference. And even if they can, I'm going to show you how to create an ad that is high converting, that gets people and entices people to click and ultimately to buy from you on Etsy. And what's really cool, as you can see in this specific example, now this isn't an Etsy ad because as you can see, it goes to bestwaybags.com, but you can create one that directs directly to your Etsy shop. Okay, where when someone clicks on this, boom, it takes them right to your Etsy listing, which is really, really powerful and ultimately helps them to buy because we know they're in the market for this, they're looking potentially to buy, boom, and we show up right in front of them, capture their attention, and bring them to our Etsy listing instead of letting them go somewhere else. And let's say that you have a really well optimized Etsy listing. Well, look at this. the first Etsy listing is number 3. So we have 1, which is an ad, 2, which is markandbrand.com, and then number 3 is Etsy. So you can really get ahead of your competition and really dominate your market with these ads. And this is just basically kind of what it looks like overall, although I'm going to show you how to create a much better converting Google search ad. But that's kind of it in a nutshell. Being target keywords that people are searching for that are relevant, capture their attention, get them to buy, and do so very inexpensively. That's the key because we have more control than traditional kind of Etsy ads. So I hope you're excited. I know I am. Let's go ahead and get to the next video. All right, so before we set up our Google Ads account and start spending any money, we need to do proper planning. So I'm going to share this Google Sheet with you. It seems a little bit complicated at first, but honestly, the process is very simple. And essentially, in this stage of the phase, and this is kind of step 1, is we're going to identify, okay, what keywords do we want to target on Google? Meaning, when someone types in these keywords into Google, do we want to show up for these keywords or not? And ultimately, we want to find those specific keywords that we want to appear for because if someone's searching for our specific product on Google, we want to show up right there, and there's a really high likelihood and high chance that after clicking, they're actually going to buy from us. Okay, so the key here with this strategy with keywords is we want to be as specific as humanly possible. Okay, so for example, let's say that we're selling a small men's leather toiletry bag. Okay, that's a product that we're selling on Etsy, so we want to advertise that product using Google search ads. So what you don't want to target is things like groomsmen accessories or men's travel accessories. You're like, oh, sorry, those are relevant, aren't they? No, they're way too broad because there's going to be a lot more competition for those keywords. And someone who's looking for men's travel accessories, they may not be interested in your product. And if they click on your ad, they may ultimately not buy, right? So we want to be very, very targeted. And by being more targeted, 2 things happen. 1, our cost is going to be lower. And number 2, our conversions are going to be higher. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. And ultimately, what's the point of that, Sumner? The point is it's going to be much, much, much more profitable. Okay, so I hope I made that really clear. And I'm going to go through an actual example with you, kind of step by step. So let's go ahead and get to it. So we're here in the first sheet, which is raw keyword list. All right, here what I want you to do is just brainstorm and write down as many keywords to describe your product as possible. Again, remember, we want to be really specific. We don't want category keywords, we want product keywords. So category keywords would be, gifts for men, personalized gifts for men, groomsmen accessories, men's travel accessories. Those are, category. It's kind of relevant, but not only for a product. Basically, if I were to type these keywords on Etsy, I only want to see my own product and my competitor's product showing up. That's the type of keywords that I'm talking about. And what you can do is, well, Sumner, haven't we already done some keyword research for an Etsy listing already? Yes, and that's a great place to start. So take all those keywords, go ahead and copy and paste them here into this sheet, and then also try to brainstorm, maybe ask friends or family, what would you search for on Google or on Etsy to find my product? And then write all of those down. The key here is just write as many down as possible, brainstorm, and then later you can go back through, and then if anything happens to be irrelevant, go ahead and delete that. So go ahead, and I've just done an example here. If you're like, hey, Summer, how many should I write down? As many as possible, okay? Like, try to max out. So there's not like, oh, only do 10, only do 20. Do as many as possible. It could be even literally 100, but at least start with around 10. Try to stretch yourself to at least 10 keywords, and I recommend even more if possible, right? Once we have this kind of short list, what we're going to, and you can see personalized men's leather toiletry bag, small men's leather bag, men's, small brown leather pouch, etc. Let's just assume, for example's sake, that they're all really describing our product. Okay, great, awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all these keywords, we're going to Command C, so we're going to copy, we're going to go to this tool here, which is remove duplicates, we're going to paste, and then we're going to click on, it doesn't really matter, you just click original order, but it doesn't matter. All right, hit enter, and there we go. And basically what we've done is we've removed all duplicate words, and we only have the individual single words left over. And I'll show you why we did this. So once we do that, I'm going to copy. All right, so I've now copied. I'm going to go back, so we're here in sheet number 1. Boom, we're going to move to sheet number 2, which is labeled remove duplicates, and then we're going to paste, okay? We have them all here, and actually, hold on, let me paste special. I'm going to paste transposed. Oh, that didn't work either. It doesn't really matter. It's going to basically paste these all in one cell, so what you want to do is just go here. Next one is leather, toiletry, bag, customized, case, small, travel, sack, brown, pouch, and then dark, okay? So basically what I've done is I've just put these all into a column instead of a row format. That's all I've done. But basically that's what you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste. And again, this is the, let's go scroll up, trace my IP, remove duplicates. I'm going to have a link to this tool in the resources section as well, along with everything else that I discussed. So you can find it there. And then once you've gone through this section here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and copy, go here to the broken keyword list, and we're going to paste. And what we're going to do is we're going to break these out and kind of reorganize them into 3 rows. Okay, so we kind of started with our raw keywords, we broke them down, and we're going to build back up. I'm going to show you why, because at least you're like, what's the point of this? This seems like totally useless. No, it's not, and I'll show you why. Okay, so what you want to do is kind of think about if someone was typing on Google, what would they type in? Kind of keyword 1, 2, and then 3. So we have personalized. So maybe, personalized men's leather bag, right? So personalized could be men's, and then maybe leather, there we go, toiletry, and then bag, okay? So someone might type in personalized men's leather toiletry bag. Another one could be, instead of personalized, we have customized. So that's going to go underneath personalized. Just think about it. Basically what we're doing is personalized men's leather toiletry bag. Got it. Next, customized men's leather toiletry bag, okay? Next, we have case, okay? For case, where's this going to go? We're going to put this underneath bag. Because again, personalized men's leather toiletry case, customized men's leather toiletry case, okay? See how this works? We're just trying to find all the combinations, okay? And we're reorganizing to make as many combinations as possible based on our specific keywords. We can keep going through. We have small, men's leather toiletry bag, travel. Here's another one. So instead, so for travel, maybe instead of toiletry bag, it's travel bag, okay? And so on, okay? So then we're going to have, instead of case, maybe sack, brown. So this could actually be brown men's leather, or let's see, or personalized men's leather brown bag. No, that seems to go there. And again, I'm doing this kind of as a real example, so I apologize that I'm a little bit inefficient, but I know some of you asked for this, so that's why I'm doing it. Here, we're going to put pouch. underneath sack. So for example, small men's leather travel sack, or personalized men's leather toiletry sack, etc. And then we have dark. That actually went with dark brown. So what I'm going to do is go here. I'm just going to do dark brown. Oops. And maybe even like mahogany or whatever other color. Again, this is just for an example, but you could even have more. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to take these. I'm just going to move them over. One. There we go. Okay. So we've taken it, we've broken down, we've rebuilt in as many combinations as possible, and now I'm going to show you why. So what we're going to do is now go to this tool. Again, it'll be linked in the resources section called Papaya Search, long tail keyword generator. Okay. Basically, we're going to kind of create even more keywords than we could think about on our own using this tool. And guess what? It's all free. So this is a free tool. All this is free. You don't need to pay for any tools. So first, we're going to start here with column 1. Go ahead, copy column 1. Go to group 1, paste. Right. So we have group 1 goes to group 1. Group number 2 or column number 2. Guess where that's going to go? That's going to go here to group 2 here. We have leather, right? This is number 3, so we're going to put this in number 3. We have now number 4. Going to go to 4, pretty straightforward, right? Just copying and pasting from the Google Sheet into the tool. And lastly, number 5 is going to go, wrong tool. Okay, there we go. Number 5 is going to go to number 5. There we go. So it matches up almost perfectly with our Google Sheet. Once you've done that, go ahead and go to the Papaya Search tab here. Okay? It's blank right now, so we're going to fill it in. So, okay. Now we'll go back to Papaya Search. Go ahead and click on Submit. And once we click Submit, as you'll see, we have all different combinations, okay, of all the possible keywords someone could type into Google or Etsy to find our product. So what we're going to do, we're going to copy this. We're going to go back to our Google Sheet. It can be in any column, doesn't matter. You just put in column A. We're going to paste. So Command V, we paste. And now I'm going to show you the reason for doing all of this. So let's go back and think through what we just did. We start off with our raw keyword list, okay? How many keywords do we have in our raw keyword list? Basically, this is all that we could think of. We asked our friends or family. We went back to our Etsy kind of keyword research. Look, we had 10 keywords that we could come up with. So if we just did this on our own and we targeted these on Google, we'd only have 10 options, okay? And only show up for 10 keywords. But remember, we want to show up for as many relevant keywords as possible. Okay, the more keywords we show up for, the more money we can make. The more people see us, more clicks we get, the more sales and all that. So generally, more is better as long as it's relevant. So we had 10. So what do we have now at the end of the process? Go into the Papaya Search tab, scroll down, scroll. Look at that, 40. We have 4 times more keywords. And you can even see, let's just click on one random one. Brown men's leather travel pouch. That's relevant to our product. Small men's leather travel pouch. That's awesome. Customized men's leather travel case, and so on. Right? All of these are relevant. And if you really wanted to, you could also make sure that all the keywords here, which should be the case, are also here at the end list. That should be the case. You can add them if you don't find them there. But again, we have 4 times more keywords. They're all relevant. That's potentially 4 times more clicks, 4 times more sales. So that's the reason for doing all of this. It's free. It seems a little bit complicated at first, but it's really, really simple. And I hope you found this valuable. In a couple videos from now, I'm going to show you exactly how to take this, copy and paste into your Google Search Ads account, and ultimately profit from your search ads. So if you have any questions, let me know in the Q&A, and let's go ahead and get to the next video. So just like we have done our keyword research before actually creating our Google ad account and setting up our ads, we are also going to lay the base work of the ad copy or kind of the ad text before we set up. And in a little bit, you're going to see why. I promise you bearing with me, you're going to see why we're doing all of this beforehand. And basically, I have this Google Sheet here, and you can use this for reference. I've got linked in the resources section. But essentially, we have product features and product benefits. And what I want you to do is list at the very minimum your top 5 product features and top 5 product benefits. And I know Ali has touched on this a little bit previous in the course, but just to briefly reiterate, product features are what your product does. It describes your product. So there's some different cool, nice attributes about your product itself. Product benefits are actually what your product does for your customer. How does it improve their life? What does it do for them? So there's kind of like what the product does, that's the feature. What the product does for your customer, that's the benefit. And you're going to make a lot more sense as we go through the examples here. But first, let's start with product features. That's why I recommend that you start as well. So first, let's list out a few features. Again, we're sticking with the kind of men's leather toiletry bag example. And as you can see here, what are some different features, right? What are some different really cool aspects about our product? Well, it's made of premium leather, high quality leather. There's an inside pocket, right? Maybe that's a differentiator. No one else has an inside pocket, but our product does. Another one is it's personalized or it's customized. Others aren't customized, but ours is. So that's a really important feature about our product. And then lastly, let's just say custom hot stamp, right? So we use a custom hot stamp. Everyone else uses maybe laser engraving or something, but we use like this old school technique, whatever it might be. And like I encourage you to do at least 5. This is just an example, so that's why I have a few less features and more benefits. There you go, get started. So premium leather, inside pocket, personalized, and custom hot stamp, okay? These are important, but you also have to tell what this does for your customer, okay? So what I'm gonna do, and you're gonna see this, is with every feature, we're gonna turn that into a benefit here. So this is actually really easy, especially if you already know your audience, you've obviously developed your product, you know why your product is so special. So really, this shouldn't take that long. And then you're gonna see how we're easily gonna take these features and benefits and almost literally kind of plug them in to our Google search ads, which is very simple to do, and I'll show you how to do that in a couple videos from now. But so we have a feature, so premium leather, that's what our product does. Great. The benefit is what does it do for our customer? So what does it do for a customer? Well, it's made of really high quality leather. Well, what's the point? Well, it lasts. It lasts for life, right? Oh, so enjoy for life, or even maybe like looks good for life, or looks snazzy for life, or another word better than good. But premium leather, what's the point? Well, it looks good for life. It holds its shape for life. It looks amazing for their entire life. Awesome. That's the benefit. That's the features. The premium leather. That's the benefit. All right. Next, what do we have? We have inside pocket. All right. So inside pocket would be. Let me actually move this here. Okay. What's the point of having an inside pocket? What's the benefit to the customer? Well, there's plenty of space for essentials. There's plenty of places you can stick essentials, or maybe stay organized, less stress, better organized, right? See how I just did that off the fly? What's the point of this? What does it do for the customer? Well, it keeps everything organized, less stress, and you know exactly where everything is. Awesome. Or plenty of space, maybe. There's extra space, even, right? space for essentials, awesome. Okay, and you can go multiple ways with these features too and write those out. Next, we have personalized. So this is custom, it's personalized. All right, great. What's the benefit? What's the point of it being personalized? Well, it makes them feel wanted. Oh, that's powerful, right? It's like, hey, we're customized, cool. How about you are the one product, at least you're the only Etsy seller that's saying, hey, you get this gift, it's gonna make that special guy feel wanted. It's gonna make them feel included. Wow, it's gonna make them feel special. That's really powerful, right? So you see the difference between feature and benefit. And by the way, a little psychology, whenever you're making a purchase decision, the limbic system of your brain, there's kind of multiple systems and ways of looking at your brain. Let's just focus on two main areas of your brain. Your limbic system and then your neocortex. The limbic system is kind of the center of your brain associated with emotions, where the outer kind of the neocortex is associated with motor function, rational thought, things like that. And a lot of people try to sell the neocortex. But what researchers have found is that in every single purchase decision, a consumer's limbic system, the part that's associated with emotion, lights up first and is activated first before the neocortex. Well, what does that mean? How is that relevant at all? Well, that means that people decide to buy first emotionally and then rationally. So that's why we're having both. Benefits are not necessarily more. Benefits sell, and benefits overall, if I had to choose, would be more important than features. However, both are important. You kind of think of it like there's two walls that you need to knock down. You need to knock down the limbic system, you need to knock down the neocortex wall in order to make that sale. You have to knock down both. So first, you want to kind of hit them with the benefit and then explain why. So you say, make them feel wanted. Well, how? With these beautiful custom men's leather travel bags. I forget what our product is. But yeah, travel bags. So we hit them first with the benefit and then back it up with the feature. Okay? So that's the reason for doing this, and just a little bit of psychology for why. I'm not just making this up. And the reality is, you can test this for yourself and see analytically that this will perform better. This is exactly what we do with all of our own business with really great results. So make them feel wanted. Just a couple more examples. Custom hot stamp. What else? There's maybe multiple benefits. One is you make them feel special. Another is unlike any other gift. Maybe be the hit of the party. That could be another one. Or bring the hit of the event, right? Even for the person buying, when you bring this gift, everyone's gonna look and be like, I wish I would have brought that gift. That's the best gift. That's awesome, right? So that's another benefit. Again, there's multiple for each feature. So you just list them out as much as possible. A few others just that are more kind of benefits, kind of merge a little bit between benefit and feature, but ultimately a benefit. Guaranteed deadline delivery, right? Or guaranteed, or maybe it's a feature, guaranteed deadline delivery, and then will be delivered on time, right? Because that's, I know a lot of for certain events and things like that, people try to order last minute, and then they want that product really quick and on a specific deadline. Otherwise, it's pretty much useless. Hey, here's your birthday gift after your birthday. Not really special. So that could be a benefit. Love it or your money back. Basically, if you don't absolutely adore, or if the special guy doesn't absolutely love it, you get your full money back. Wow, that's a benefit, right? That obviously is beneficial to me. And then maybe lastly, free shipping, whatever, right? And there could be even more. But hopefully this makes sense. Like I said, I'm going to show you exactly how to plug these into your Google search ad and do it. You definitely want to do this beforehand. Otherwise, you're basically going to have your Google search, you're basically your Google ad kind of account open and just sitting there doing the same process and just having both tabs open and wasting time and potentially getting logged out, having to redo everything. So that's why we're doing all the work up front, which makes everything else so much easier. And I hope you found this very, very simple. If you have any questions, any other way I can help, please let me know in the Q&A section. And let's go ahead and get to the next video. All right, I think it's about time that we set up your Google Ads account. How about you? So at this point, it's going to be very, very simple, very short video. Just kind of show you the right place to set up your Google Ads account. So obviously, if you already have a Google Ads account, you're good to go. You don't need to watch this. However, for the majority of you, you likely do not yet. So what you need to do is go to the link that I have in the resources section, or you can just go to Google, type in ads.google.com. It'll take you to this page here. Once you're here, you're going to click on Start Now because you don't already have an account. So click on Start Now, and then what you'll see is that you need to have a Google Gmail account in order to create a Google Ads account. Now, you don't have to create, a professional, for example, hello@sumnerhobart.com or info@sumnerhobart.com or anything like that. You can use a free account. So if you already have a Google account, go ahead and you can use that. What I recommend doing is creating a Google account specifically for your business. So for example, let's say we have Hobart Brands. That's the name of our brand, is Hobart Brands. And what I might do is create hobartbrands@gmail.com. Go ahead and create that Gmail account. Once it's created, then sign up for an account. Just to make sure that everything is organized to where, when you do taxes and accounting, things like that, that you're, exactly that, all of your Hobart Brands at gmail.com accounts, that those are all for your business, where your personal is kept separate. Okay, so that's what I recommend doing, but you can sign up using your personal account. So go ahead and enter in your name and info here, and then Google's just going to ask you some very simple, basic questions. You'll need to link your credit card, answer some basic business information. No student has ever had an issue with this at all. But if you do have any questions through this process, let me know. It's pretty self-explanatory, kind of step-by-step through. And then once you do that, within literally 2 minutes, you have your Google account ready to go. Make sure, like I said, you set up your billing. Basically, when your ads get charged, that account, that credit card, that will get charged. And as a little hack, Al and I like to use our Delta Sky Miles card, to where when we spend money on all of our different types of advertising, we actually get miles when we obviously pay back the credit card and build up our miles that way as well, which has been super helpful. We do that with all of our advertising. So there's just another little hack as well. So go ahead and create a Google account if you haven't already. Make sure it's for your business. At least that's recommended. Go to the link that I provided in the resources section. Set up your account. Should just take 2 minutes, and we'll go ahead and get to the next video. When creating a new Google Ads account, something that's really important you want to make sure you do is once you log in and kind of create your account, it looks something like this. Scroll down, click on Switch to Expert Mode, which I'm going to do right now. And the reason for doing this is because basically there's like basic mode or expert mode. Most people are, oh, basic mode because I'm not an expert, where I'm going to make sure that you are an expert. And basically it's kind of like with Etsy, right? So where Etsy tries to make things really simple, they take away some of that control, and ultimately in the end, it's a little bit more difficult to kind of really get better results, which are a little bit easier with Google Ads. So Google does the same thing where they're trying to make things simple and like only click a few buttons. But in the end, you can end up wasting a bunch of money. And I want to make sure that you're very calculated and that you're not giving all your money to Google. You're giving it to them only if they're going to help you get sales back. So just want to make sure, go ahead and when you're signing up for a new account, click on expert mode, and then we'll go ahead and set up our account in the next video. It's officially time to set up our first profitable Google search ad campaign. So in this video, we're going to cover through part 1 of setting up your campaign. Then I'll show you also how to create your ad group and ads. And this all makes sense as we go through, so bear with me. And first thing that Google asks you is to set the goal for your campaign. For this specific example, what we're going to do is select website traffic. Now, maybe wait, should we select sales because I want sales? Yes, we do, but because, at least right now, Etsy doesn't sync up with any of our Google Ads accounts or Google Analytics account, what we want to do is select traffic. If anything changes, which I'm really hopeful for in the future, if Etsy and Google integration improve, then we might select a different objective. And of course, I'll update the video at that time. But for now, trust me, I run a lot of Google Ads for Etsy and Amazon and other marketplaces. Go ahead and select website traffic, okay? Because we're going to drive traffic to our Etsy listing and then ultimately get profit from it. For campaign type, select search, because again, we're creating those search ads that are basically text that show up when someone types in very specific keywords, and then we will ultimately get those clicks and sales. So click on search. Okay. Next, hit continue. Now, hold on. So we just want to make sure, scroll up. Okay, good. Search is selected. Sometimes Google will be a little bit finicky. And then here, enter in your website. So in this case, right, think about whatever product, specific product that you want to advertise. Okay, remember those keywords I created for that specific product? Whatever that product listing is, go ahead and enter here. In this case, I'm just going to do www.etsy.com. Again, you don't have to do this. This is basically Google asking you, and they're going to give back some recommendations for keywords, but we've already done keyword research, so we don't really know. So you can put in whatever website you want, the Etsy or anything else here. But if you want to kind of keep it consistent or see some of the recommended results, go ahead and type in your specific Etsy listing. Okay. Again, we would set this up if this was a website, but because we're using Etsy, that integration isn't there, so we can't set up custom conversion tracking. So we're just going to go ahead and hit continue. All right. Here we go. So that's kind of part 1. As we move through, now we're kind of officially getting this campaign set up. You'll need to name your campaign. You can name it whatever you like, but I usually like to name it something like product name and then Etsy. All right. So product name, Etsy, keep it pretty simple, especially if you have other ads running for Amazon or your website, or even if you're not, pretty simple. Then here is where we want to make sure that we're doing this correctly. So make sure you uncheck both of these, search network and display network. So if you've ever bought something, or maybe visited a website, or maybe even an Etsy shop, and then you are just checking some other random website, right? You're on an article or you're on a website, and then you see these little kind of like square ads or rectangle ads that like show up, they pop up. If you're a big blogger and you use Google AdSense, you know what I'm talking about, right? Those are Google display ads, right? Basically display meaning images, so Google image ads, okay? We don't want to include our ads on the display network because they perform terribly, okay? If you leave this checked, you will waste money, I can guarantee it. I can almost guarantee it, I should say. And also we want to exclude search networks. Well, why? Don't we want our ads to show up in Google search? Exactly. We want our ads to show up in Google search, not the search network. Search network means a network outside of Google. So for example, CNN.com is the example of a Google search network. It's a search engine, right? You can go on CNN.com, you can type in information and find articles, and you can actually have your ads show up there. The problem is people are at Google to buy. People are not on CNN.com to buy. And again, this is another way of Google kind of takes away control. It's a very easy way for us to spend a lot more money and not get those results back. So that's the reason I'm doing this for you. You can test if you would like, but I would recommend definitely not. So leave these two unchecked. That's the reason why. And then we're going to continue, okay? So locations, you definitely want to make sure if you only serve certain locations, only target those. And now I recommend if you say, hey, Summer, I sell in the United States and Canada, or maybe multiple countries, what I recommend doing is creating one campaign per country. And I'm going to show you how to duplicate campaigns and ad groups later, but for right now, only focus on your #1 marketplace, okay? And really, I just recommend that you focus on your #1 marketplace and don't really worry too much about your other marketplaces unless they're pretty similar in terms of profit and revenue. So let's say we sell in the United States, great. Something else you can do, okay, is you can actually target very specific states and exclude certain states. So maybe you don't want to ship to Hawaii and Alaska. You can exclude Hawaii and Alaska. If you are, for whatever reason, maybe your product is a Texas-shaped cutting board. Well, then maybe you only want to target Texas, okay? So what we can do here is under enter locations, watch this. So if I type in Texas, right? You can scroll up. It's kind of cutting off right here, but you can see at the very top, we can target, Texas. We can target Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. We can exclude, include, right? So it's really up to you. But in general, keep it pretty simple, and I like to just target the United States overall. And like I said, if I'm going to target the United States and Canada, what I like to do personally is I like to have one campaign. They're both identical, but basically one campaign is going to target the United States keywords, and another one's going to target Canada because it kind of helps keep all my results separately, and I can analyze differently. But if you sell both pretty similarly, if you want to keep it simple, it's really not going to be negative. Go ahead and click the United States and Canada. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Whatever language, so if you're targeting the German market and your listing's in German and it's a German product, then select German, right? In most cases, it's going to be English, so make sure English is selected because you only want to show your ad to someone who is speaking English. Otherwise, they're not going to click, or maybe they'll click not really knowing. So yeah, pretty simple and straightforward. Leave this blank. We don't have any audiences. Don't worry about it. It's a little bit more advanced. For budget, completely up to you. I believe the minimum, at least as of currently, is about $1. You can set it to whatever you want. For us personally, we usually set budgets around $5 to $10 a day when starting out for our campaigns. But again, it's completely up to you. So if you're like really conservative, then just do $1 a day. You can still get some pretty great results. But again, obviously, the more that you spend, the more potential for sales that you have. So just kind of keep that in mind. So in this case, I'm actually going to do $10, which I usually do. And keep in mind, this is not the amount of money you will spend per day on your ads. This is the maximum amount on average you'll spend per day. So some days you can potentially spend more than 10, other days you can spend less, or in a lot of cases, and especially with the strategy that I show you, in a lot of cases you can spend always less than $10 every single day based on the keywords that you're targeting. Google is used to people who don't really know Google Ads, and they're trying to do everything themselves, they don't have anyone to guide them, just go in and they target these really broad, very competitive keywords, they waste a bunch of money, they're targeting the display network and all these things, and then they eat up your budget, the $10 budget easily every single day. But we're going to be much more targeted, specific, and I'd much rather spend $1 a day with really highly targeted traffic, people that really want and are going to buy my product, than targeting people who don't care about my product at $10 a day, because ultimately it's not going to get me good results and waste money. So just keep that in mind. That's the maximum that you're willing to spend. It doesn't mean you will spend it. That's just what I want to kind of hit home. And then lastly, for this video, what we are going to do is we are going to select a different bid strategy. So there are different bidding strategies. If you're brand new, it's going to be super complicated, so I'm going to simplify for you. We're going to click on this. We're going to select the drop-down and click on manual CPC. That stands for manual cost per click. Remember, it's a common thread that's going through this module. We want control. If we give up control to an algorithm, they're going to waste our money. If we have control, we have much more likelihood of generating profit. So basically, you want to select manual cost per click. And what this means is you are going to set your cost per click. Because remember, before, at the very beginning of this module, we determined, okay, this is what our maximum cost per click can be to run our ads profitably. So we already have that number so that we already know what we need to be profitable. We're going to enter it in. I'm going to show you that in actually the next module. And then lastly, just make sure that this helps increase conversions with enhanced CPC. It's not enhanced. It's actually dehanced. It's going to make things worse. Unchecked, because again, it's just another of many, many things, these kind of little traps that Google sets to waste your money. So once you're in this section, go ahead, set all this up, and then we'll go ahead and continue on into the ad group section in the next video. Welcome to part 2 of our Google search ad campaign setup. We are now here at the ad extension section, which as you can see is right below where we were before, so the next part of the process. And essentially, Google ad extensions are ways to make your ad a little bit more visually appealing, a little bit more compelling, and they're ultimately what they're going to help you do is get your ad noticed and get people to click on them more than you would otherwise. And by the way, just a little secret, most businesses and individuals that are running Google search ads do not use extensions, and they are missing out because it's the easiest thing in the world, and I'm going to show you. So just to give kind of an example in case you aren't really familiar with Google ad extensions, here is an example right here in the top right of Acme Electronics. Again, this is just an example. So you see the little text that says free shipping, 24/7 customer service, price matching, etc. Those each kind of the little individual phrases, 2 or 3 words, those are each a call out extension. Basically, they are calling out a certain aspect, again, a feature or a benefit that is important to your product. Again, so people can easily kind of scan your ad, or even subconsciously they see that, they're more likely to click. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back to a handy dandy Google ad copy features and benefits. So again, here we go. Here's our features and benefits. And what I encourage you to do is that Google allows up to 10 call-out extensions to test with your ad. So what I want you to do is, like I told you before, have at least 5 products and 5 features for a total of 10. So what we're going to do is take 10 of these and create call-out extensions, which are super easy. So let's go ahead and go back to our Google ad account, and we'll switch between the Google ad account and the Google doc that we have open. So first, we're not going to select cyclic extensions for Etsy. This doesn't work. If you have your website, this would work much better. But what we're going to do is call out extensions, okay? Oh, and by the way, you want to select call out extensions, not call extensions. Call extensions get people to get on the phone with you. You don't want to get on the phone. You want to make money passively, right? You want to just wake up and you got more Etsy sales and you're making money. So what we want are call out extensions. Go ahead and use the drop down, okay? And here we go. So there's 4 options right here, and add another one. You just add it here and add another one, right? And so on until you have 10. Okay. So I won't go through everything, but I'll go through just a few examples so you have a very, very good understanding. So first, we're going to go back to let's do 2 features, 2 benefits. We have premium leather. So let's copy this. We're going to go here, premium leather. And what I like to do is make sure it's called sentence case. So meaning the first letter of each word is capitalized. So maybe we have like premium quality leather. Or if it's a certain type of leather, you can put that in here. But yeah, premium quality leather, the first letter of each is capitalized. Great. Next, let's say custom hot stamp. That sounds fun. So custom hot stamp. Custom hot stamp. And as you can see, as we're entering this in, we have up to 25 characters that we can use. Right now, look, we're using 16 of the 25, and I totally misspelled that. There we go, 16 of the 25. Up here we have 23 of the 25. So you need to make sure that each of these stays within 25 characters, and Google will tell you if it is or if it's not. So maybe I'll do like customized hot stamp or personalized hot stamp. That could work as well. So that's 2 features. And we're going to go ahead and let's see a couple. Let's see. Let's do unlike any other gift. Let's see if that works. Yep. Unlike any other gift. That's nice. Another benefit, a really good benefit could be free shipping is always great if that works. So let's do free shipping, right? Pretty simple. Literally just copy and pasting. That's why we did this first. Let's see. Let's do a money back guarantee. Let's say we have a 30-day money back guarantee. So let's say 30-day money back promise. And let me move this above my head. Boom, look, exactly, 25 out of 25, perfect. And another tip is if there are ways you can creatively use numbers, make sure numbers are in everything that you do, but when you have just a bunch of text, numbers really stand out. So just another little kind of side tip for your call-out extensions, as well as in the next section, or a couple seconds from now, when we cover actually creating your Google ad copy, try to include numbers where it makes sense. So if you're having a deal, this would be a great place too. If you're running a promotion, yeah, definitely have one that's like, let's say like 15% off, leather, what was it, toiletry. or off leather bag, something like that. Or it could just be 15% off now, right? Whatever it is. Including those numbers is going to help your ad stand out, and it's going to help ultimately increase clicks as well. Again, where it makes sense. If you can't think of anything, that's totally fine. You don't need to use numbers. It's just a little hack. Then once you're done with that, click on save. Once you get saved, you're good to go. Obviously, I'm not going to do that for this account because, well, actually, I'll go ahead and do it. I'll just delete them later for you guys. So go ahead and click save. Boom. Great. Now you see that they're all saved here. They're saved and they're ready to go. They're all selected. If you wanted to, if you created it and you're like, oh, I don't want that in my ad, then what you can do is just simply uncheck. I don't want to include free shipping, so I uncheck it. But I'm going to leave them all checked. We're good to go. Next, we're going to hit save and continue, and that is going to bring us to the ad group module. I'll see you in the next video. Now that we have included our call-out extensions, the next section of our campaign setup is the ad group section. So you can think about Google Ads in three parts. There's the campaign, which is kind of the big outer circle. There's the ad group, that's kind of the middle, and then the ad is in the very center, almost like an egg. The eggshell, the white little part, and the yolk in the middle. Okay. And in reality, it really doesn't matter. You don't really need to know the difference. All you know is that the ad group section is the targeting section. This is where we're going to include our keywords from before. Okay. So step one in the ad group section is we're simply going to name our ad group. So usually I like to have something like product dash and then something like exact. And I'll explain why I do this in a second. But it's your product name dash exact. Next, we have the default bid. So now, what do we set for default bid? Well, if we go back to our advertising metrics Google Sheet, we'll remember that our maximum cost per click that we entered was 25 cents. And again, that's why hopefully by this point you've already done this. If not, be sure to go back and calculate this. Should be fairly simple and straightforward. But we know that at most, we can spend 25 cents per click on average in order to profitably run our advertising. Okay? So 25 cents is going to be our max cost per click. So guess what? For our maximum bid, also known here as our default bid, we can see maximum cost per click. If you go to the kind of little more information icon. So we're going to do 0.25, representing 25 cents. For perspective, just so you know, most successful campaigns that I've found run anywhere between 10 cents for the default bid to 50 cents. Okay, obviously that's a fairly large range. It's still all of that is in the lower end. 10 cents is very, very low. And 50 cents is a little bit higher. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's a good range to stay in general for most Etsy products. But it definitely depends on your profit margin. Okay, so I want to make that very, very clear. Just based on our own products as well as clients' products and others that we've networked with and other Etsy sellers that we know personally. So 25 to 30 cents could be a good starting point. But just as if you're not really finding a lot of results, if you're like, hey, so I set up all these campaigns, it's been running for some time, but I'm not seeing any clicks, then what I recommend doing is going back and then increasing clicks, which I'll show you how to do in a future video. But yeah, so that's our default bid. Pretty straightforward. Next, we're going to scroll down. This section right here, okay? This is the keyword section. We are going to Command A, basically select everything and delete it. Doesn't matter what's in here. I don't care. We're going to get rid of all of it. So delete it all, because a lot of it's going to waste our money. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our other Google Sheet, which, if you remember, is the keyword sheet that we have. Specifically, remember all those keywords that we had from that Papaya search tool. What we're going to do, scroll down. We're going to start here at 40. We're going to drag up, until we have all of these keywords selected. As you can see, I'm going to Command Copy, or Command C to copy them. And before I paste them into the ad group, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to this tool. This is called keywordmatchtypetool.com. I'm going to have a link to this in the resources section. Keywordmatchtypetool.com. What you're going to do is you're going to paste your keywords here instead. Paste them here, step one. Step number two, click on exact match. Okay? What are all these? This will get really confusing and it's unnecessary for you to know. Basically, there are different match types that you can target with Google Ads. Broad match, modified broad match, raised match, and exact match. You want exact match. Don't worry about the other ones. Why? So we're going to select exact match. We're going to click on make keyword list. And as you can see, all the tools did, which is really simple to do, is added brackets right before and right after each phrase. Okay? Why do we want to do that, or what's the special purpose for this? Basically, if we were to enter in, and that's another kind of sneaky thing that Google does, that's why you bought this course, and now it's going to help you save money, is if we were to just copy all of these keywords, remember just our main keywords, and paste them, what we're actually doing is we're not targeting those keywords. We're targeting those keywords and broadly related keywords. It's called broad match. So if there's, and I'll show you actually here in a second. So let me just get rid of this real quick. I'm going to select broad match just for example. Okay, this is all I'm doing this for. Broad match is selected. Watch, make keyword list. Look, the keyword list is exactly the same. There's nothing on the ends of the keywords. So basically, if you're just copying and paste your keywords into Google, which most people do, you would target loosely related keywords. So maybe instead of dark brown men's leather bag, it could be red men's leather travel bag, or leather suitcase, or men's leather suitcase. So words, they're not relevant to your product. Like, so basically, you would show up for irrelevant keywords, and you might get some clicks because people accidentally click, or people think, oh, that this is relevant, and they click, and they ultimately don't buy. So you're gonna waste your money. So don't do that. Again, so this is what not to do. What you do want to do, and just explaining it. Select exact match. There we go. And basically with the brackets, what that does is this means, hey Google, we only want to target these specific keywords when someone types them on Google. Okay? Because we went through the research. We know our product really well. We know that when a percentage of people who type in these keywords, they're interested in our product, they're gonna buy our product. Okay? And only these keywords, not other loosely related. So these are our most important keywords. You definitely want to use exact. If you were more advanced, I might recommend phrase match, but that's a whole other kind of whole other discussion, and it really doesn't matter. This is really what matters. So now we're going to copy this new list with the brackets before and after. We're going back to our Google Ads account, going here back to the keyword section. We're going to Command V to paste. Boom, there we go. And now, as you can see, all of these are an exact match. By the way, completely ignored. You can see our daily estimates are zero. $0 cost per click, $0 per day, 0 clicks. Google's not accurate when it gives us data. It's trying to give you that to say, hey, you should target more keywords, you should be a little bit more broad, try to get you to spend more money, don't worry about it. In some cases, you may not get a ton of traffic or clicks, but the traffic that you do get is very passive. You set up a campaign once, let it run at a very profitable cost, and this can help you, just basically this machine that can help you generate more profit ultimately in the long run, okay? So we have this here. Once you're done with that, pretty simple, straightforward with the ad group section. Again, it's just your targeting. what you want to target and then at what cost. You've already done both of those things. So now you're good to go. Next step is what we're going to do is hit save and continue on to actually create the ad that our customers or future customers are going to see. So let's go ahead and get to that video. Welcome to the final section of setting up your Google Ads. I know it's been a lot this far, but I promise in the end, it'll definitely be worth it. And here we're actually going to create the ad that people are going to see when they type in those keywords into Google, and then your ad is going to show up. So as we continue, right, we've already set up our campaign, our ad groups, and we're in the final section of creating our ads. Okay? So your screen will look something like this. And